Hi, and welcome to the Days Gone podcast. I'm Claire Weaver, a screenwriter, author, and die-hard Days Gone fan, and this podcast is a place to discuss the game in all its glory, share my opinions, both popular and unpopular, and listen to me fangirl over one of the best games ever made. There will be spoilers ahead, so continue at your own risk. Welcome to the Freak Show. Hey everyone, I am Claire Weaver, and I wanted to start this podcast to talk about Days Gone because I am a huge fan of the game. So I came to Days Gone just this year, it's 2021, and I know I'm a little late to the game. I know the game has been out for a couple of years now, but for some reason it just wasn't on my radar. I am a die-hard PlayStation fan, and I only play games very rarely. Like, I don't have a lot of time in my week, maybe a few hours a week to play video games, and I'm kind of a little bit of a completionist, so I like to play one game at a time and just play it all the way through to the end. Also, where my PlayStation is, it's kind of like in a little locked cabinet. I had my last PlayStation 4 stolen when someone broke into my house a few years ago, so now I keep my PlayStation locked up. So changing the discs is always a bit of a pain in the ass. I gotta go get the key and unlock it, and then my cat tries to get into the cupboard, and then I have to fish her out, so it's a whole thing. So I just like to play one game at a time. Last year I was playing The Last of Us Part 2, obviously, because it's fucking awesome. I finished it and I was looking for something new to play. For some reason, I think it came up on Amazon as like a recommended or something like that. This video game, Days Gone. What is Days Gone? I've never heard of that. Also, shouldn't it be Days Gone By or something? Like, that's a weird title. And so I looked at the cover and I read the little description, and it was bikers, post-apocalyptic, zombie world, this cheesy looking cover art with a guy sitting holding his gun, leaning against a motorcycle with a horde of zombies coming at him, and his name's Deacon St. John, and I'm like, oh my god, this looks cheesy as hell, and I am here for it. This looks amazing. It's exactly the kind of game I like to play, and exactly the kind of story that I love. And I showed it to my hubby, and I was like, if ever there was a game designed for me, I think this is it. So I ordered it. It was like $20. I'm like, cool, yeah, that'll be something fun to do in the evenings after my baby's gone to bed, and I can just unwind, kill some zombies. Didn't really have very high expectations for the game. But then the game arrived, and I stick it in the PlayStation, I start playing, and I get, a couple hours in. The first couple hours are a little on the slow side. We all know that. Everyone listening to this is a fan of the game, obviously. And I get a couple hours in, and it just clicks. And I'm just like, wow, this works. Like, there's something special going on here. And I was trying to put my finger on it, and I think a lot of it is the story of Deacon dealing with his grief, the tension within him between his grief, coping with his loss and his emotions, and his pride and perhaps a little toxic masculinity with trying to not appear weak or to suppress his emotions. And I loved the kind of the tension within the character as he's fighting that within himself. And I love the storyline with Boozer kind of reflects the same theme about how Boozer's like, oh no, my arm is fine, doesn't want to appear weak. And I'm like, this is kind of cool. This story sort of has me hooked. And then, you find out, oh, his wife might be alive. And after that point, I was like, okay, I'm all in. And I think the biggest turning point in the game is when you get to Lost Lake and you meet Ricky and Iron Mike and Skizzo. And oh my god, I'm going to do a whole episode on Skizzo because he is my favorite character. And I know everybody hates Skizzo. Fuck Skizzo, am I right? But I have reasons why he's my favorite. And I will get to that. But the story is compelling. Deacon's push to get through his grief, and then how that changes to the drive to find his wife and find out what really happened to her. Is she still alive? Is she still out there? Will they be reunited? And then when Deacon finds Sarah, and it's not a happy, romantic, movie-like ending where they just fall into each other's arms and ride off together into the sunset, I fucking loved it. That was the best thing ever. Now, throughout this podcast, I'm going to go into a lot of my reasonings why I'm making these statements. I know a lot of people did not like that moment in the game. A lot of people obviously do not like Skizzo. I think I have a lot of unpopular opinions about some of this game. But hopefully throughout this podcast, you can get to know me and maybe, I can win some of you over to my way of thinking. And then, of course, the twist with Schizo coming back, I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming. That was so good. It was such a cool moment. And when the helicopter flies away, there are just so many emotions that it stirred within me, and I was so invested in the story. And I think it's really because the characters are just so compelling, especially Ricky and the Lost Lake people. They really felt like real people, and they really made Deacon feel like a real fleshed out person. The themes, PTSD, pride, this game just has so much to give. And it hurts my heart to think that it's not a very popular game. Like, I don't think many people have played it. I mean, it's not a bad game. It's not, doing bad numbers. But I hadn't heard of it. And I love PlayStation games. And I love zombie games. I know, technically it's not a zombie game, but it's in that subgenre. And I've been telling everyone about this. So that was kind of the reason why I wanted to do this podcast. The second reason why I wanted to do this podcast is to maybe spread a little love, let people know there's this really cool game out there. Go play it. So in the next few episodes, I'm going to get into the characters and some of the story points, and I really want to talk about the themes and the world. So I hope you'll stick with me and enjoy these episodes. I do want you to reach out if you have anything you want to discuss with me. I want this to be very much a two-way conversation. So you can email questions, comments, thoughts, hit me up with anything you want to say. If you want to start an argument with me, that's cool, and I can tell you why my opinion is the best. You can email me your thoughts, comments, opinions, and counter-arguments at daysgonepod@gmail.com. You can also find me moderating the Days Gone subreddit. Thanks for listening. Weaver out.